Officially, good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome out, everyone, to the weekly opening bell. Though names are changing, meetings are changing this week. I was doing some work. You might have gotten some email notifications if you're on the list to get notified. Changing things up. I'm gonna try to have a post out with all the new. I mean, not much. It's not like it's a vast change, but certain things are going to be focused on and prioritized. So, good morning, press. Good to see you. Good morning, everybody. Is that Lee? Good morning, Lee. So, keep me posted as we go through this with your feedback. If you're like, hey, these are great changes, that would be helpful. If you're like, oof, I don't know, I'm a little on the fence with this, I definitely want to know that too. But I think that it's moving us away from having gotten a little complacent with the way we've been doing meetings and really trying to push to have them be the best that they can possibly be. All right, let's get into it. My name is Scott. I'll be your host. As always, this is for education illustrative purposes only. We're not brokers. We're not advisors. We don't give investment advice or recommendations. What are we going to do? Let's connect the dots. What dots are we connecting? From posture to trading, right? From posture to trading. We talked about posture yesterday. The score stabilized. So we had 2 drops in a row. Right? 2 weeks in a row of a drop. Well, we'll talk about it. We'll look at the economic calendar. So it's an employment week, I believe. Mindset for open trades. If you're bullish, things look good on the open here. The opening range looks, well, we don't know about the range yet. We have a strong opportunity list. If you didn't see in the post, I have it listed by sector. So make sure you grab that for the week. And we'll go from there. Let's pop in. So here's what we evaluated. And here's how we evaluated it. 5.5 from 5.5. I was a little different. I came in, and as I was scoring, I was trying to, real time what mine would look like when I would drop, etc. And so you can kind of see the first drop, 7.25 to 6. Good drop, 1.25. Not catastrophic, not a panic drop, but a cautionary drop. Then we had a follow-up, and the follow-up was a 0.5 point. So over 2 weeks, we dropped 1.75. If you have never done it, you should go back and look at the history. Look at times when the market got iffy. What does it tend to do? Is this bad? You can go back and you can see it and be like, oh, you know what? It's not that bad. May or may not be over yet. We don't know. But as of now, it's 2 weeks. And then now we have stabilization. Stabilization at a 5.5. That's a bullish score. We're bullish. This market is full of bullish underlying strength. And so that's more meaningful to me to say, hey, this market's bullish, still stabilizing. We even took a trade on Friday. You can see why we would. This is looking like it was giving a signal. Bouncing off of this lower level, stochastics is turning, candle exceeding. And now what? Now the futures look great. Let's take a look. S&P futures up 0.85. Dow 0.56. NASDAQ over 1%, 1.09. Russell 1.17. So again, as we think about the battle for third, small caps have eased up a little bit, and we're wondering, are they going to resume? Is the momentum going to go back into the small caps, which we would interpret as more bullish? Or are we going to see it move back into, move not back into, but move into large caps, where we might start to see that a little bit more defensively? And so that's part of the information we're watching. So we're looking to see. Looking to see what happens. Okay. What else? Futures are up. Jobs report arrives in a big week for tech. Okay, so let's look at the economic calendar. What are we expecting today? Nothing. Factory orders, there's nothing here. What are we expecting tomorrow? Tomorrow, the deficit numbers, no one cares about that very much. Services numbers supposed to uptick, no one cares very much. Job openings, that's one that we will pay a little bit of attention to, because it's the first piece of the employment, the labor market narrative. 7.7 million is still a strong number. That's a stable number. It actually ticked up from recent levels. So, yeah, there's plenty of job openings. Then we go down to the next piece of the employment. We've got ADP, private payrolls. Previous was 146, expected at 130. Anything between, that 130 to 150 level is kind of maintenance level. It's not growth, but maintenance. If we see it dip into, below 100,000 consistently, that's when we're like, ooh, what is this? Are we no longer adding jobs? They miss a lot. They miss more than even the non-farm payrolls number misses. So we take it with a grain of salt. Minutes of the December meeting, I'm not too worried about the Fed right now. We looked at this on Friday. Nope, on Sunday. We looked at this yesterday. And in doing so, it's not until there's no expectation for January, minimal expectation for February, not February, March. It's not till we get till May that we have better than 50-50 odds of a cut, and it's only a quarter point. And that's kind of where I find myself. They're going to leave it alone and watch. Leave it alone and watch. And then maybe in May is when we see something. So what does that do? Press made a good comment about it. It said we can just kind of take our ear off the Fed's whisper for a little while, at least potentially, to some extent. So that's why I'm saying I'm not that worried about December minutes. I think they're likely to say, hey, we're not going to do much until we see more. Okay, great. Thursday's just jobless claims. That's staying very low, keeping us in a place where we're not very concerned. Friday, U.S. employment report, 227 was last time. Expected at 150. 150 again is maintenance. Maintenance at a 4.2 unemployment rate. You remember they had that whole, I can't even remember the name now. There was this big hullabaloo about SAR index, SAHR. Is that it? Does anyone remember? And it's if you get a certain amount above the unemployment low within 12, I can't even remember. It's so funny because I can't even remember the full criteria for this thing now. I'm going to have to go back and look it up. Anyway, it triggered. But even the person who made it was like, well, we're kind of in a unique time when you're coming off like a historic low as your baseline to trigger. And that's maybe not quite accurate. And so it triggered and everyone's like, oh, that could be weakness. Nope. Right? Nope. That's what we said. We're like, no, we don't see it. You got to see it in the jobless claims. You got to see it in the number of job openings. You've got to see it in the monthly numbers. And we weren't seeing it. And so we said, no, we don't think that that's happening. If it starts happening, we'll see it. We'll look for it. Okay. And that's what we're looking for this week. Markets opening in 2 minutes. Our posture, as we said, stayed the same at a 5.5, which led to a good size. I'm going to pull it up. A very good sized watch list. Let me go into recordings and summaries. And Sunday Market Insights, that's what it's going to be called now, from analysis to action. Very exciting. It's slow to load. Let me see more. Come on, circle. What's happening? There it is. If you're not grabbing this, you should. This is the list. There's the opening bell. This is the list of where we found things that we liked. I don't know. GE Vernova in energy, maybe. But you can see what we have. Consumer, we have some good financials. Industrials, we've got some lineups in there. Communication services, got some names in there. Technology, we've got some names in there. I might put Upwork in communication services, but okay. The watch list looks strong. Let's go take a look at the open. Sandy says app, Docu, CMG, JPM, watching all of those. Okay, we can see we got a nice little bounce up. Including on our new Amazon trade. If you're waiting for trades, you have things like Apple possibly developing into a potential today. That's on our list. AppLovin is getting additional confirmation. That would have been the entry. That would be the second. Now we would have to switch over and say this is a continuation trade. This is the last chance I have, right, to catch this, where I could get in now and put my stop below yesterday's Heiken Ashi, 332. 332. That's already 26 points away. Already 26 points. Am I going to look for 50 on this thing? 52 points. That gives me 2-1. That puts me at about 412. That's 52. Yeah, I probably would actually maybe even go up here to 430. That would be 70 points. 23. Okay. There could be something here for a continuation trade. 2-1 is my expectation for a continuation. AXP, BAC, you can see the financials are pushing a little bit still. One of these might entice you into a trade. Carrier was on our list. Not as much. Caterpillar, CLS, definitely still looking strong. Still looking good. CMG. There's nothing here for me yet on CMG. Right? Now, if we have one of the things that I would like to do, I haven't built them yet, but I'm going to put together checklists. that will exist for each of these days that we're going to go through. Nice little reminders. The mornings are going to be our pre-market routines. We're going to talk about how we're implementing the pre-market, which is going to be a little bit more scripted to make sure that I'm covering everything that needs to be covered. So, yeah. What are we going to do for that? We're going to have some pre-market checklists to make sure that we're, doing our pre-market routines. We're going to have, where should we be? If you're new and you're saying, all right, here it is, it's Monday morning, 5 minutes into the market, what should I be doing? Well, let's put it all together. Do we have a posture? Yes. What does our posture tell us? We're bullish. Oh, good. That's good information. Good information to have. I'm bullish. I'm less prone to making mistakes. Everybody's a genius in a bull market. We've all heard that. It's nice to know when I can be that genius. So then what? Then it's a matter of, well, if you're bullish, where are you finding your trades? Well, we have a watch list for that. So we go to our watch list. And not only do we have a watch list, but we also have a focus list. Right? A focus list that I just showed you. If you don't have it, it's in your email from my Sunday email to you, or it's in the posting. That focus list is the list for the week. I'm not going to go back and reinvent a new list. That's the list. Could some of those fall off the list and a couple of new things pop onto the list? Of course they could. That's just a starting point. We like to start the week with a focus list. Okay, great. What am I doing with that focus list? Well, I'm looking for trades. I want to see if trade signals show up. And that's where, if someone says, what trade signals? Okay, now we need rules. And that's where we try to help build rules. But in the meantime, we put out alerts based off our rules. And our rules work off of things like, I want to buy strong stocks in good sectors on bounces of support. Those are the rules. So, that's what when we look at Amazon, it's a strong stock in a good sector. What sector? Consumer discretionary. That's a leading one. This is a leading stock. It pulled back, it found support, and it started to bounce. That's what generated the trade. Today it's a red candle, but it is up 1%, so the trade is, making some money. That's it. What are we expecting? What do we do with this now? Well, now we manage this trade while we look for other trades. So if you're new and you're thinking, what should I be doing? Well, all of this is what you're going to script in your routines. You have morning routine. What do you do before the market opens? You do that routine. Right? There should never be a point where you're just like, well, I don't know what I should do here. Well, if you have that, it shouldn't be that you solve for that then. You solve for that in your trading plan. Your trading plan says, hey, on Monday mornings, do this. Or maybe it's just like, don't do anything. You don't have to do everything all the time. Just sit and wait. But yeah, let's get to these. Let's get to that more. Let's talk about it more. Where were we? Caterpillar? No, we were at CNK. CNK, we said, oh, we're holding on this one. Now we're definitely, because what just happened? It just bounced off of a lower high and is now making a new lower low. It's below this. That was the lower low. Now this is the lower low. We don't know. So there's nothing here for us. There is no possible way this could become a trade just like all of a sudden. Coherent, that looks great. It didn't look great 3 days ago. So if you're like, oh, how did I miss that? You didn't miss anything. Nothing got missed. 3 days ago, this was the new lowest point, which is lower than that point, which means at that time, we were thinking to ourselves, it's in a consolidation. I'm not fretting about, should I call the bottom? Is it the bottom? I don't know. What I know now is there's a couple of days of buying pressure above average that pushed it through that line. And now that this is hitting maybe some resistance, I'm thinking to myself, Okay, if you come back down here and bounce off of this moving average, that's a higher low. And that is what I'm looking for there. Boom, boom, boom. That is the signal. I'm not trying for this. I'm trying for this. That gave you a great trade and then another great trade. That's it. So we can catch one here. Beautiful. We would love that. So we wait, we watch, and we see if it sets up. But that's not a trade right now. That's not a setup right now. Cisco is. Right, Cisco is. Oh, what happened? Go back to Cisco. Oh, don't go jumping around on me. Cisco, we had that move up. That already happened. It already came through this consolidation. And now it's pulling back down. And what are the sellers doing? Not nearly as much. And now we're thinking to ourselves, is this thing ready to go? If so, that's our trade. Absolutely. We would look for a trade on that. Is it subtle? I don't know. I feel like it's pretty apparent once you start to understand more the exact parameters of what you're looking for and why, but it's supply and demand. We can see it on the charts, right? It's there for us. So this one, setting up, much more so than some of the others that we've seen. Delta is trying to recover. If you're in it, it's trying to recover. It held this support level by the skin of its teeth. You can see it tested way down here, but ultimately it held. It held. Okay. Here's the diamonds, still kind of down. Here's DocuSign. That's. If someone was thinking about it, I could see why. I think I would actually wait for that second. I mean, it just feels like this is mostly just consolidative right here. And so I would like to see it pop, not just try to come. But the low is there. If you're just like, hey, I just want to call that low. Your stochastics is down and turning. It's holding. It's still well above this old level prior to the earnings. Yeah, you can make an argument for that. Fastenal. What do you think? Was your initial reaction? Yeah, there's nothing here for us. I hope. Was your initial reaction? Maybe it's found a bottom. Oh, be careful with that, please. Because that's the same thing you would have thought here, right? Maybe it's found a bottom. Oh, it's starting to bounce. Nope. There's nothing here for me. I would love to think about this when it breaks, pulls back. Okay. Now there's a conversation. Now there's a conversation for us. Right? Otherwise, we're spectators catching a falling knife. Press amen. Amen. Flex. Yeah, no. I guess, I mean, there's if you like it, if you like Bitcoin, there's a little bit of momentum there. GE Vernova. So this gave the signal that we're looking for right there. That's the higher low. That's the turn. That was it, right? That was it. And you might think, well, Scott, it was pretty sideways leading up to that. It definitely was sideways, but it was a higher low there. And that's fine. If you're like, hey, I missed it, then you missed it. Now what? Now you watch, you wait to see what happens until you can catch something like that. Now too far gone. Agreed. Agreed. There's nothing there for us now. Okay, let's keep going. GM. Oh, GM. That's a possible conversation. They've gone through the mix, up. Now the pullback, found, bouncing. That's an interesting one. Google. Oh, Google is smashing into an entry signal here. Almost too much. We're 3%. It's hard to. You'd rather catch the anticipatory. But it's valid. It is valid. If you're thinking about it, if you're in it, it looks good. Not as much in the financials, I don't think. Home Depot, nothing there yet. Howmet, maybe. Nothing in IBM, nothing in IP. IWM, JCI. KKR still looks pretty good. Yeah. What else? Okay. What else? Can we please see the Heiken Ashi on KKR? Absolutely. Perfect. Right? Perfect. Okay. Well, let's keep going. Does look pretty good. I think that one might be a leading candidate. Let's go MasterCard. No, you can see, still waiting. Okay, Meta. Meta's got the same kind of strength that Google does. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. Let's see. MS. Potential there. Microsoft. Still not enough for me there. NDAQ. Okay, Netflix. Ooh, Netflix is a maybe. It's getting close. Okay, let's keep going. Nvidia still showing that strength. It was in or it was too late. PLTR is kind of holding back a little bit here. We'll see if that continues to go. PayPal looks strong. I like PayPal as well. PayPal, KKR are probably the two strongest that I think looks good. Okay. QQQ. What else? Roblox. That was another one that we looked at for a signal here. It's definitely got follow through. Reddit the same. Rocket Lab, RKLB, still showing some strength. I like what we see here. I think there's a good chance we have at least one alert come out today. So be mindful of that. The market's getting a nice strong bounce, 1% now. TJX still down. T-Mobile still down. Okay. Okay. Let's see what's coming up next. Toast. Maybe. Tesla still moving. Ooh, but starting to pause a little bit. TSM. Okay. TTD. TSM really popped, didn't it? My goodness. Real good pop on that one, 4%. In it or watching at that point. TTD looks like it has some movement. Twilio, not really. Upwork. The bullish dollar has pulled back quite a bit. Today's VIX, you can see continuing that movement down. Continuing that movement down. Okay. VRT. VRT's looking very strong today. Very strong movement. Let's see. Okay. VSCO, too strong to join the party. I agree. VSCO, not much there. Walmart, that's looking like a pretty good setup to me as well. And let's go Zillow. I think Zillow's a maybe. Yeah. What's the tie off on this? We're bullish. It's stabilized. Our watch list is full of opportunities. We seem to have some momentum in front of us. So that's what I'm looking for. Tonight is turning into a Q&A. I don't know if that's going to change the way you guys look to attend, but I'm trying to make we'll be answering questions that are posted on the community, questions that come live. So more of a Q&A session. If you want to find your way there, time is going a little earlier. I think we are going at 6 or at 8:30, but it's going to be at 8 o'clock Eastern. Keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for messaging about the new schedule, the new agendas. Keep an eye out for a trade alert. Keep an eye out for setting up texts on trade alerts. That's the three things that are happening. Otherwise, we're through the new year. We're into the new schedule. Things are going to be as you would expect. No changes to the timeline. So good to see everybody. Yeah, I'm feeling good about the market that we have. Feeling good about the setups. Looking for trades. Looking to manage what I have. Let me know if you're doing the same. Let's keep the conversation going in circle. Have a great rest of your day. Hopefully I'll see you guys later today. As always, happy trading.